The dismantlement of apartheid in South Africa cannot be contributed to only one individual, for example, Nelson Mandela, but it was a collaborative effort of years and years of opposition to the apartheid regime. And there are some key individuals that have played crucial roles in the dismantling of apartheid in South Africa. Here are some key persons that I would like to give a brief overview of. Firstly, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was a prominent anti-apartheid activist and leader of the ANC, the African National Congress. Despite being imprisoned for 27 years, Mandela remained a symbol of resistance and unity against apartheid. Some of his key contributions include leadership and negotiations. Mandela played a central role in the negotiating of the apartheid government while in prison. His leadership and willingness to engage in dialogue helped pave the way for the peaceful transition from apartheid to democracy. Reconciliation and unity. Following his release in 1990, Mandela worked tirelessly to promote reconciliation and forgiveness among South Africans. He advocated for peaceful coexistence, encouraging reconciliation initiatives such as the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and championed the concept of a rainbow nation. His first democratically elected president. In 1994, Mandela became the first democratically elected president of South Africa. He led the country through a period of transition and worked to address the socio-economic inequalities inherited from apartheid. Mandela's presidency focused on nation building, human rights, and promoting a unity and inclusive South Africa, a united and inclusive South Africa, rather. Next, Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela, Nelson's former wife, also played a significant role in the anti-apartheid movement. While her tactics were more militant compared to her husband's, she became an influential figure in the struggle against apartheid. Her contributions included activism and mobilization. Winnie Mandela was actively involved in grassroots mobilization and resistance against apartheid. She organized and participated in protests, rallies, and acts of civil disobedience, becoming a symbol of resistance for many. Amplifying the struggle. Mandela used her platform to amplify the voices of those oppressed by apartheid. She brought attention to the human rights abuses committed by the apartheid regime, both domestically and internationally, shining a light on the struggle for justice. Women's empowerment. Winnie Mandela played a vital role in empowering women with the anti-apartheid movement. She fought against gender discrimination and advocated for the recognition of women's contribution to the struggle for freedom and equality. Steve Biko. Steve Biko was a prominent anti-apartheid activist and leader of the Black Consciousness Movement, BCM. His contributions include the Black Consciousness Movement, of course. Biko's philosophy of Black consciousness aimed to empower Black South Africans psychologically and politically. The BCM played a crucial role in the mobilizing and organizing the Black population against apartheid, emphasizing self-reliance, pride, and a rejection of white domination. Grassroots mobilization. Biko focused on organizing community-based programs and empowering individuals at the grassroots level. He advocated for Black people to develop a sense of self-worth and challenging the dehumanization imposed by apartheid. Inspiration and legacy. Biko's activism inspired a generation of young Black South Africans and played a significant role in galvanizing resilience against apartheid. Although he was tragically killed while in police custody in 1977, his legacy continued to inspire future activists and played a part in shaping the anti-apartheid movement. Walter Max Ulyate Sisulu. Anti-apartheid activism was one of his main contributions. Walter Sisulu was a key anti-apartheid activist, a leader of the ANC. He played a vital role in organizing resilience against apartheid policies and mobilizing communities to fight for equality and justice. His ANC leadership made Sisulu a prominent leader and served as a Secretary General from 1949 to 1954. He worked closely with Nelson Mandela and other ANC leaders, strategizing and coordinating the anti-apartheid movement. Underground resilience. Sisulu was involved in the ANC's underground activities and played a significant role in organizing acts of sabotage against apartheid infrastructure. He was also instrumental in establishing Umkhonto weSizwe (MK), the armed wing of the ANC. Imprisonment and legacy. Sisulu was arrested in 1963 and sentenced to life imprisonment alongside Mandela and other ANC leaders. Despite his long imprisonment, Sisulu remained a symbol of resilience and commitment to the struggle for freedom. After his release in 1989, he continued to contribute to the anti-apartheid movement and played a crucial role in the negotiations that led to democratic elections in 1994. Oliver Tambo, ANC leadership in exile. Oliver Tambo was a prominent anti-apartheid activist and leader of the ANC during the exile years. While Mandela was imprisoned, Tambo led the ANC in exile and spearheaded the international efforts to isolate and oppose the apartheid regime. International diplomacy. Tambo played a crucial role in mobilizing international support for the anti-apartheid movement. He traveled extensively, lobbying government institutions and individuals to impose sanctions and support the struggle for liberation in South Africa. Under his leadership, the ANC gained significant international recognition and support. ANC legal defense. Tambo initiated the ANC's legal defense arm, which provided legal assistance to activists and played a crucial role in exposing human rights abuses committed by the apartheid regime. And finally, facilitating transition. Tambo played a crucial role in facilitating negotiations between the ANC and the apartheid government. He was instrumental in preparing the ANC for a transition to democracy and paving the way for democratic elections in 1994. Notice how Oliver Tambo and Walter Sisulu helped pave the way for the elections in 1994. Desmond Tutu, moral leadership. Desmond Tutu, an Anglican bishop and later archbishop, provided moral leadership during the struggle against apartheid. He fearlessly spoke out against the injustices of the apartheid system and advocated for non-violent resistance and reconciliation. Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Tutu chaired the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, TRC, established after the end of apartheid. The TRC aimed to promote healing and reconciliation by investigating human rights abuses committed during the apartheid era. Tutu's leadership in the TRC helped create a platform for truth-telling, forgiveness, and national healing. Interfaith activism. Tutu's activism extended beyond religious boundaries. He actively engaged with various religious groups, both within South Africa and internationally, to promote solidarity and support for the anti-apartheid cause and post-apartheid advocacy. After the end of apartheid, Tutu continued to activate for human rights, social justice, and reconciliation in South Africa and globally. He remained an influential voice on issues of peace and equality, using his platform to address issues such as HIV and AIDS, poverty, and human rights abuses. These individuals, along with many others, played pivotal roles in the struggle against apartheid and the eventual transition to democracy in South Africa. These individuals, alongside countless others, made immense sacrifices and contributions to the struggle against apartheid. Their resilience, leadership, and commitment to justice were instrumental in challenging and ultimately dismantling the apartheid system in South Africa.